Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. GBKK Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Pharmaceutics, Sri Aditya Chungiri College of Pharmacy. Students, today let us discuss about prescription. All people, we have seen prescription in our day-to-day life, but nobody is bothered about how prescription is written, how prescription is read, how prescriptions are handled. But as a pharmacist, we should know in detail complete information regarding prescription. Prescription is a written order from a registered medical practitioner or other properly licensed practitioner such as dentist, veterinarian, etc. to a pharmacist to compound and dispense specific medication for the patient. The order is accompanied by directions for the pharmacist to prepare a specific type and quantity of preparation to the patient. The prescription also includes the direction for the patient regarding the mode of administration of drugs which is dispensed for him. Thus, the prescription is a media through which treatment is provided for a patient by combined skill and services of both physician and pharmacist. Prescriptions are generally written in English, but Latin words or abbreviations are frequently used in order to save time. So it becomes necessary for a pharmacist to become familiar with the common Latin terms and abbreviations used by the prescriber while writing the prescription. So next, coming to parts of prescription. Prescription are generally written on a typical format which are usually kept as pads. A typical prescription consists of date, name, age, sex and address of the patient, superscription, inscription, subscription, signature, renewal instruction, signature, address and registration number of the prescriber. So now let us discuss all these points one by one. So what is the importance of date? So it helps the pharmacist to find out date of prescribing and date of presentation for filling the prescription, the prescription which prescriber prescribe narcotics or other habit forming drugs must bear date so as to avoid the misuse of prescription. So name, age, sex and address of the patient is very important. Name, age, sex and address of the patient must be written on the prescription because it serves to identify the prescription. In case if any of these information is missing in the prescription, the same may be misused by the pharmacist after proper inquiry from the patient. Age, sex and of the patient, especially in case of children, help the pharmacist to check the prescribed dose of medication. Next, coming to superscription. This, it is represented by a symbol Rx which is written before the prescription. Abbreviation Rx is a Latin word recipe meaning you take, and in olden days it is considered to be originated from god Jupiter, sign of god Jupiter, the symbol, god of healing. The symbol was employed by ancients requesting a quick recovery of the patient. So next, coming to inscription. This is also called as heart of the prescription, and this is the main part of the prescription order, contains the name, quantities of prescribed ingredients. Name of the ingredients are generally written in English language, but common abbreviations can be written in both English and Latin language. So while reading this part of the prescription, a pharmacist should take extreme care in interpreting the prescription, the abbreviations, otherwise it can lead to a serious errors. The medicament which may be prescribed as official preparation, a proprietary product, a non-proprietary product, that is nothing but generics, not official or a special or individual formula. In case of special or individual formula, the quantity of each ingredient will be stated, through which the description of the type of the preparation, example cream, mixture, lotion. The name of each ingredient is written on a separate line along with its quantity. In the complex preparation containing several level ingredients, the inscription is divided into following parts. It is divided into three parts. First part is base, the active medicament which are intended to produce the therapeutic effect. Next is adjunct. It is included either to enhance the action of the medicament or to improve the palatability of the preparation. So vehicles means it is included in the prescription either to dissolve the ingredient or to increase the volume of the preparation. So nowadays, since majority of the drugs are prescribed which are already available in the suitable formulations, the pharmacist is required to dispense the ready-made drugs. So compounding of prescription is almost eliminated. Now today compounding is obsolete because almost all the drugs, they are readily dosage forms, they are readily available in the market. So next, coming to superscription. Superscription, this comprises of direction to the pharmacist for preparing the prescription and number of doses to be dispensed. And these days prescribers are omitting specific instruction to the pharmacist because majority of the prescriptions are not compounded and dispensed. Coming to the next part of the prescription, signature. This consists of direction to be given to the patient regarding the administration of the drug. It is usually written as SIG on the prescription. The instruction given in the prescription are required to be transferred onto the label of the container in which medicament is to be dispensed so that the patient can follow it. The following instructions may be included. In the signature part of the prescription: the quantity to be taken or amount to be used, the frequency and timing of administration or application, route of administration, if the product is supplied in a concentrated form, and special instructions for such dilution is indicated in this part of the prescription. Next, coming to the renewal instruction. The prescriber indicates every prescription order whether it may be renewed. If so, how many times? It is very important, particularly in the prescription containing narcotic and other habit-forming drugs, to prevent its misuse. Next, coming to signature. Signature, address and registration number of the prescriber. So the prescription must bear the signature of the prescriber along with its registration number and address and it is very important, particularly in the prescriptions containing narcotic drugs, forming narcotic and habit forming drugs, to prevent its misuse. Okay, so here this is a typical example of a prescription. So first I have told RX, it is a superscription. So sodium bicarbonate, compound cardamom tincture, simple syrup, water quantity sufficient. This is inscription. In this, sodium bicarbonate is a base, compound cardamom tincture is a adjuvant, and then simple syrup, and then water, they are used as vehicles. So subscription, here it is written as fiat mistura, means in Latin term make a mixture. And signatura, here it is written as cochlear magnum turrindi post sebosumendum. The meaning of that is 1 tablespoonful to be taken 3 times a day after food. 3 times a day after food. That is the signature. Next, refill instruction, then signature of the prescriber and his registration number is given in the format. So next, coming to the important part of prescription, handling of prescription. The following procedure should be adopted by the pharmacist while handling the prescription for compounding and dispensing: receiving, reading and checking, collecting and weighing the materials, compounding, labeling and packaging. Coming to the receiving, the prescription should be received from the patient by the pharmacist himself. While receiving a prescription, a pharmacist should not show any facial expression which gives an impression to the patient that he is surprised, confused after seeing the prescription. So no facial expression should be given in front of the patient. Next, reading and checking the prescription. On receiving the prescription, always check it is written in a proper format, that is doctor's pad or OPD slip of the hospital or nursing home, and signed by the prescriber along with the date. A prescription should be screened behind the counter in case any difficulty in reading or any doubt regarding the prescription ingredients or direction of the directions. The pharmacist should consult the other pharmacist or the prescriber, but under no circumstance patient should come to know about it. That pharmacist should never guess about the meaning of any illegal or confused words. If it may lead to serious consequences. Some prescription is received on telephone by senior pharmacist. In such case, after taking down the prescription, it should be verified by repeating it on phone to the prescriber. It is very important because nowadays the number of drugs with almost same pronunciation and spelling are available in the market. So there are some examples here: acidin, apidin, prednisone, prednisolone, digoxin, digitoxin, althrocin, elthroxin. So if there is any omission in any particulars, important particulars such as a dose, so it should be prescriber should be contacted. So next, coming to the collecting and weighing of raw materials. Before compounding the prescription, all the materials required for it should be collected on left hand side of the balance. After weighing the material, it should shifted to the right hand side of the balance, and this check of ingredients which has been weighed. While compounding, The label of every stock bottle should be read at least 3 times in order to avoid any chances of error. So when you take from the shelf or drawer, when the contents are removed for weighing and measuring, when the contents are returned back to its proper place. Compounding and weighing. Compounding should be carried out in a neat place. All the equipments required should be thoroughly cleaned and dried. Only one prescription should be compounded at one time. All the ingredients should be compounded according to the directions of the prescriber or according to the pharmaceutical art. The compounded medicaments should be filled in a suitable container depending upon its quantity used. The filled containers are suitably labeled. White plain paper of good quality should be used for labeling the containers. The size of the label should be proportional to the size of the container which is written or typed, giving all the desired information. The label should be fixed with a good quality adhesive almost in the center, leaving equal space from the bottom and the top of the container. The container is polished so as to remove the fingerprints. While delivering the prescription to the patient, the pharmacist should explain the mode of administration, direction for use, and storage of drugs. So next, coming to sources of error in prescription. First error is abbreviation. Abbreviation presents a problem in understanding the parts of prescription. Order. Extreme care should be taken by a pharmacist in interpreting the abbreviations, and pharmacy should not guess at the meaning of an ambiguous abbreviation. Example: to dispense acromycin for acrohemid may cause difficulty when the intention of the prescriber is to dispense acrostatin. The abbreviation SSKI represents the use of shorthand form of saturated solution and chemical formula of potassium iodide. So such like that abbreviations should not be used. Everything it should be clearly written. So the name of the drug. There are certain drugs whose name look or sound like those of others, and some of the examples are digoxin, digitoxin, prednisone, prednisolone, doxidan, doridan, peblate, robilate, ananase, orinase. So, name of the pharmaceutical ingredients have been changed on certain occasions due to the possible confusion. When the name of the other product example name of the product is a potassium supplement was given as calcium to cholium because the possible confusion of former destination with Valium. Strength of the preparation. The strength of the preparation should be stated by the prescriber. It is essential when the various strength of the products are available in the market. For example, it will be a wrong decision on the part of the pharmacist to dispense paracetamol 500 mg when the prescription for paracetamol tablet with no strength specific strength. So dosage form of the drug prescribed. Many drugs are available in one or more dosage form: liquid, tablet, capsules and suppositories. The pharmaceutical for forms of the product should be written on the prescription in order to avoid ambiguity. Dose. Usually high or low doses should be discussed with the prescriber. Pediatric dosages may present a problem, so the pharmacist should consult the pediatric pathologist to avoid errors. Some reasonable dose is administered too frequently. Example, prescription for a sustained release formulation to be administered after every 4 hours should be thoroughly checked, because such dosage forms are usually administered only twice or thrice a day.